Hang on.
Yo.
Hi there, darling.
Hello.
Hello. We've got one muted. Hi, Shackner. Okay, so I have my phone separate. All righty. Nope. So I tested out my crimper.
And
here's my bottle.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, you're not even looking.
No, I am looking. It's just that right over there on the screen. It's because I have like a huge screen.
I'm just teasing you.
Yeah, I have like a 43-inch monitor that I use over here. So it's like, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I need something like that.
Yeah, it's just it takes up a lot of desk space. If you don't have the desk space, although you could technically wall mount it. I mean, you do have the wall space for now, until you get shelves installed for more materials.
Okay, Shackner said he has to figure out Zoom first, managed to never use it before. Okay. So it looks fine to me. It's good from here.
Yeah, most likely Shackner just has to go ahead and check his audio configurations, check his video configurations, etc. Make sure that his privacy settings and allowing access to webcam and microphone and all that stuff for both the app and the OS.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
He's in the chat. Hi. Okay, cool. How do I pin somebody in here so that I'm just seeing one at a time? I mean, I'll do that later. Is it in the view gallery?
You can right click the person and then pin.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so we got people joining in. I'm just kind of adding them as we go. Let me pull out my Atlas Cedar. So while people are joining us.
Which one was that?
Oh, that was Atlas Cedar. Strong stuff.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, your favorite.
Hey, Specific.
Hi guys. Hi, Specific.
Hi guys.
Hi. Welcome to my messy studio. There's even more mess behind me. Whew, don't look at that. Don't look. All right, cool. So today is the 20th, right? May 20th. All right. I'm gonna say blend along. All right. Cool. All right, piggies. I'll just stay in here.
Hello.
Oh, hello. We can hear you now.
Oh, nice.
Are you there?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. Yay. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. I can't wait.
Yeah. Where are you at? Where are you located?
In Hungary.
Nice.
Oh, nice. What time is it over there?
It's like 6 p.m. here.
Oh, perfect.
We chose this time slot specifically to accommodate for Europe. Unfortunately, that means that it's like sometime in like way late at night for Asia, but you can't do all the time zones.
Yes, this is true. We do our best.
Well,
cool.
we should just move out to space and we would all have the same time zone then.
That would be great. That would be great.
Just be a stowaway on Elon Musk's spaceship. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst? Do you know, have you guys seen the Starlink satellites? You've seen them?
Well, I haven't seen them in person.
Yeah, me neither.
We woke up one night and actually saw them going over our house. It was like last year.
You can
Yeah, it
see
was
them
really
by your
freaky.
eye.
Yes, yeah,
Oh.
and they're fast. They're moving really fast across the sky. They're very low, so they're very bright. If there's no clouds or anything. And we woke up and we just saw this train of lights going across the sky very quickly. And we were like, what is that? So we ran outside and we're like trying to figure it out. And then like I Googled it and I was like, oh, it's Starlink. But yeah, he's a madman. Okay,
Hey,
cool. I got,
Robbins.
hi, JK Robbins. Hey, nice to see you.
What's happening?
Not much. Where are you located?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful state. Tennessee's gorgeous. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, all right, it's noon now. I'm recording, by the way, guys. So don't, don't confess to any murders or anything while you're on here.
I smelled Cade oil.
Should I wait a little bit longer, Jay, or?
Maybe like 2 minutes. Just
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Can one of you do an everyone ping on Discord?
no. We do not do an at everyone because it will literally ping at everyone on all the channels and just it'll flood everyone's notifications. Generally, it's not a good idea to do that.
There's what,
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, this is a special occasion.
Oh,
we're gonna
I
have
hear you.
we're gonna have more of them though, so it won't just be this one. We don't know when we're gonna schedule them, but we will definitely have more. So
For sure. For
maybe
sure.
maybe we can post it in a coffee talk too or something. Coffee
Okay.
corner.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and send that over there.
Okay, because I feel like people probably won't check other, but they'll check coffee corner.
I also, maybe it's worth just adding the link again because I had to scroll up a bit to find it.
Got it. Good.
Yeah,
Very good.
I remembered to screenshot this when I saw it, and I hadn't seen anything about it again. So
Okay, so let's get that. Copy link.
All right. It's posted on everything. So now we have the link shared. We have the original message shared as well. Everything is there. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So yeah,
Okay, cool.
I think we're good at this point. So Shannon, so what do you want to do for how we want to structure this? Do we want to start with that original blend that that I had proposed, and then we'll go for the improv later, or do you want to start with the improv?
That's a really good question. The way we normally do, so just to catch everyone up, the way we normally blend is we'll come up with an idea, we'll kind of just brainstorm materials, and then we literally just improvise. We get on here. Jay is really good at suggesting materials, and then we just basically use my nose as we go along. This time he's going to be doing some of the blending on his own as well, but that's normally how we do our.
Well, normally I would, but in this case, I decided to, stick here to my computer because I figured that it would be better for me to research on my side on the computer. I do better research on the computer, but I do my blending on another station. So I figured that this, since this is typically our arrangement, that we should do it like
Just
this
stick
in
with
this
it.
case. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Jay won't be blending today. So normally I do the blending. Jay makes all the suggestions. He does the research on what sort of, what sort of dilution we're going to use for each, right? I'm using the
Well, the
wrong word. It's
dosage,
not
yeah.
dilution, is it? The dosage, yeah. So he researches the dosage and the materials, and then we just kind of go along as we go. So, good question. Do you want to start with the Atlas now? Let's do the Tingly blend first. I think let's do your Tingly base, and I'm curious to see what that's going to smell like. So, do you want me to do?
You have Poivrol or no?
Yeah, I have Poivrol.
Okay, good. All right, let's go ahead and get let's start with the base like we usually do. And I think I have my notes over here for that one. Okay. Where's that?
All right, we got another person, Allison.
Yo, welcome.
Hi, welcome, Allison. Hi.
Hi, Allison.
Hey. You got your audio on?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you're talking to me. Hey guys.
Yes. Hi. Cool. Teamwork makes the dream work. Yes, it's true.
All right.
Okay,
all
so
right.
we're gonna start out with Jay's tingly accord and see if we can make something tingly, and then we'll start playing around with the Atlas cedar fragrance after that.
All right. Why don't we start off by just creating the unisex neutral base, and then we'll separate that. And actually, maybe we can just start with the accord itself, and then we'll do the base later. I know that's
Okay, so-
the opposite of how we do it usually.
So since I'm completely out of ambroxan, am I allowed to use Cetylox instead?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
you're
all
allowed.
right. Okay, cool.
We'll have to use a higher dosage of Cetylox, in this case 4%. I know that's pretty high, but it's fine. Do you have the crystalline Cetylox, or do you still only have the dilution?
I've got the crystalline.
Okay, good. Although you do know, how they hate to dissolve, so you may end up having to either crush them or something. Do you have a mortar and pestle, by the way?
I do not.
Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and since we're doing 10 grams, let's go ahead and just add 400 milligrams of the Cetylox then. Oh, by the way, I'm going to post the original formula over here in the chat for everyone that we're probably going to be using, but we may end up, switching things up with that one. Okay, so
yeah.
All right, so I think in this case we're just going to replace the 2% ambroxan for 4% Cetylox.
Can we not start with the Cetylox? Can we start with the other ones first?
Absolutely, go
Okay.
for it. However you want to do it. So we'll
So
do
we got
then.
65% ISOE super.
That's going to be 6.5 grams of ISOE super.
Okay.
The 10% Hediona HC is going to become 1 gram of 1 gram of Hediona HC. Hi, Katya.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're
Hi,
welcome.
Katya.
All right. The 4% Zenline is going to become 400 grams of, sorry, 400 milligrams.
Hang on, let me get
No,
the
wait,
let
it's,
me do the ISOE super first.
oh yeah. It's going to be 400
What?
milligrams.
Somebody said my name. Am I doing something wrong already?
Are you the only one mixing? Sorry, I could not get it together this morning.
Oh, no
We're
worries.
just you guys can either mix along with us, or you can just chill out and hang out and be a fly on the wall.
Watch.
Either way, yeah, we're just basically because Jay and I started collaborating on fragrances. We sold out of our first one like 3 times, and we were like, hey, we have a really good process here. We might as well share it with other people just to, just in case anybody was curious and wants to hang out
That's
with
so
us. while we're doing
awesome.
it.
I'm so I'm so proud of you. I heard about, yeah, we were briefly talking. I'm like Green Slug online, by the way.
You're Green Slug. Okay, cool.
I'm
Yeah,
Green
also,
Slug.
guys, tell me what your Discord handle is, because I
Yeah.
won't be able to tell otherwise. Okay.
Let me
Yeah,
just
I
change mine.
to the Discord
Yeah.
name.
I'm Shakanar.
Let me change mine.
I'm J.K. Robbins.
Hi, JK.
Do we go ahead and change my name?
Okay, 6.5. Hang on.
Yes, okay. Sorry, I'm a little late. I'm gonna put this in my spreadsheet.
Okay, so I just put 6.5 grams of ISOE super. We're just creating like a neutral unisex base, which Jay loves.
Mhm.
He's a
You get-
master at these.
Oh, yeah. And one thing that I would totally recommend, if you're interested in just high projection and really high longevity,
I'll be right back.
copy this base. This is the base to use. So you're going to want between 50% and 65% ISOE super. the less ISOE super, the more feminine leaning the base will be. The more ISOE super, the more masculine.
I
leaning it will
absolutely cannot stand when I get materials all over my desk and scale. It drives me nuts. I have
Jay,
an
can I have a
OCD.
question?
Oh yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
I don't have Xenolide. Can I replace it with anything?
Yes, you can replace it with pretty much anything you want, but I would recommend the closest would be Edenolide, but lower the dosage because Xenolide is much more neutral, much more forgiving. Edenolide, it's sort of like Sauron in the Lord of the Rings. It likes to take over and dominate, so it's like just kind of be careful with Edenolide. Yeah.
It's like
Cool.
Sauron. Okay, I'm doing 1 gram of Hedione, which is 10%.
Yeah, so for the base ranges that I would say 10% Hedione tends to be more masculine leaning, and 15% tends to be more feminine leaning. 12% seems to be right in the middle. Now, in my opinion, Hedione 8C is the more masculine of the two. Hedione regular is just the more feminine of the two. So regular Hedione is more jasmine. Hedione 8C is much more magnolia. So I tend to lean towards Hedione 8C for everything I do, simply because I find it to be much more versatile and a little bit more unisex. So it tends to be a little better for transparency purposes as well. Also, when Hedione 8C, as it gets older, what happens is that the cis variant of the molecule becomes the regular variant of the molecule. So what happens is that if you leave your Hedione 8C in room temperature for too long, it just becomes regular Hedione. On the other hand, if you let your Hedione stay at room temperature for too long, it kind of goes sour and becomes, bad. So from what I gather, because of that, it might be the case that Hedione 8C will actually have a slightly longer shelf life, which will be beneficial for your product. At least that's my interpretation of, what I've read about it.
I'm curious, and this is a question for everyone really, how many materials do you keep in your fridge? I put Hedione 8C in my fridge, but curious what everyone else.
As many as I can fit. Except for some absolutes, you put them in the fridge, then they harden, which is annoying. It just makes them harder to work with. So like Rose Absolute, all of those are out of the fridge for me.
I'm horrible. I only have extracts for formulating like products in the fridge, unfortunately. So they haven't gone bad. They haven't gone bad yet, but I know with citruses it's a little bit different.
Still better than me. I have none in the fridge so far.
Thank you. I have none in the fridge. I'm in a basement though, which is always a neutral kind of cooler temperature down here. So I'm hoping that that's going to carry me through.
Yeah, but I need to put some of them in the
Probably.
fridge because it's getting warmer in here.
Oh, is it? Yeah, as the summer. Maybe I'll put stuff in the fridge when it gets warmer here. But we're just coming out of winter, so I haven't had to worry about it. Not
I'm
yet.
probably the worst out of everyone over here because it's like, because I'm in the South, I just constantly live in a house that has AC going at full blast, because otherwise you don't survive the South. It just kind of destroys you. But also I have a dedicated mini fridge that I bought specifically for perfumery. And then I decided to promptly just like never connect it. It's just literally just sitting in a corner of my living room. And it's like, yeah, I should probably get around to that sometime.
You literally just have to plug it in, right?
Yeah. And just like move the materials in there and, remove like the little blue tape that they keep in there in the fridge, yeah, it still has the new fridge smell. That it's not a good smell. Yeah.
No, that's not a good smell. Okay, cool. We're doing Xenolide next, right? Which is
400 milligrams. Yes.
How much?
400 milligrams.
Oh, okay.
Xenolide, by the way, for anyone who hasn't smelled it, it's sort of like a red berry-ish kind of musk smell. A little bit woody. Think about like the woodiness of Exaltalide Total, but imagine that woodiness without the powderiness of Exaltalide Total, and then just give it like a slightly fruity characteristic to it, like a sort of strawberry and blackberry kind of, berry kind of smell. Not so much, like a watermelon kind of smell. I don't associate Xenolide with watermelon at all. Yeah.
Would you replace it if, let's say, you wanted to try this blend for the time being? Because I'm for a Xenolide Total, because I have that right now. So
Adenolide would work if you have Adenolide.
Adenolide is going to be the closest that I found personally.
Okay, because I have Exaltalide Total.
Exaltalide is more powdery than Xenolide, right?
So
yeah,
it's gonna, okay.
Exaltalite, I wouldn't think that this would be a good
Would work.
replacement. I'm just saying that the Exaltalite total, the woody component of it is similar to the woody component in Zenolite. That aspect, that sort of wood musk, that's the only similarity there. I am not really sure what you could replace the Zenolite with. There's not too many other similar musks to it because it's
Would
also
you
not a
just would you just add more ethylene bracelet instead, maybe?
yeah, possibly, but you got to be careful with overdosing on ethylene bracelet. Probably you could do habanolite, to be honest. Habanolite might be a good replacement because
Okay.
it's a fairly neutral musk, but I would moderate on the dosage. I would go to like 3 or 2% instead of the 4% if you're going to replace it with habanolite. Also, you're going to make it darker this way. Habanolite just has a certain darkness to it that that you don't have in Zenolite.
So
You
you
guys
do
are so
about
much
2%.
better at smelling musk than I am.
Huh? I'm sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you.
I said you're so much better at smelling the distinctions between the musk than I am.
Okay, one of the things that you should definitely do whenever you get a chance, try getting your hands on like a set of musks that you really enjoy and try smelling the differences. Try like smelling them from farther out, from closer in, and try really like honing in on the differences. Like be super picky, super detail oriented. Focus on nothing else other than like your sense of smell. Maybe close your eyes while you're smelling it. Whatever you have to do it in kind of and become super familiar with your musks. Because it's like the small differences that you notice when you're smelling the material pure are going to become amplified a lot once you start adding the alcohol and once you start putting it into your blend. And perfumery is all about nuance, all about the detail. You have like the more detail oriented you can be, the pickier you can be about your fragrance, the better, because that's how you do like your quality control and stuff.
Yep. Wise, very wise. Okay, cool. So ethylene bracelet, 0.3, right?
Yeah. So 0.3 grams, which will be 300 milligrams. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, generally speaking, I prefer like 3 grams, 3.5. No, sorry, 3%, 3.5% of ethylene bracelet. You just don't want to go too high with the ethylene bracelet because otherwise you get a sort of like an almost moldy quality to it. You know, like that smell of black mold, similar to like geosmin. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I get that. Like when it's like really, really high concentration, similar to clearwood as well. Clearwood
yeah.
kind of has that. That's sort of like
Musty.
like musty, damp, black mold, basement kind of thing, waterlogged. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that you want to avoid with going too high on the ethylene bracelet.
So this smells very masculine to me.
Nice. And does it have like that fruity component that I was saying, a little bit of woodiness as well?
To me, when I smell Zenolite, I don't smell the fruity aspect. I smell a tingly, like a spice, like the same effect that a spice has on your nose. I don't smell the fruity. The only musk that I'm like, oh, it's fruity is a Zenolite. That one to me smells really sweet and fruity. But this to me smells masculine, tingly. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone's nose works
I haven't
differently.
evaluated my musks as well as you have though. So I may just not be picking up the fruit. I don't know. But for me,
It's all fine. It's all fine. Everyone's nose works differently. It also could just be that you don't have the genes, to smell certain aspects of that. Like some people will just be a
genetically defective. I'm kidding.
I wouldn't quite phrase it that way, but yeah,
No.
but basically everyone has some things where they don't smell a certain aspect of something.
Yeah, musks are funny. Like, I do agree. Anolite is a little more fruitier, but other ones I can really smell like the powder aspects of a lot of them. But some of them do have a tendency to smell very similar.
They smell very similar, yeah.
The thing that I am looking for when I look for musks is this. I'm looking for versatility first, because here's the thing about it. It's like when I'm working with musk, I'm just thinking about how I can use them practically, because I use musks for not the smell that they have in themselves, but for the balancing effect that they can bring. Because a musk will take that sharpness, that edge, that harshness that you get on a lot of fragrances, and it'll tone it down. It'll make it rounder. It'll make it a little bit more smooth, a little bit more pleasing. And that's the kind of thing that it does. It gives a sort of like almost like a pillowy aspect to the fragrance. And that's really needed if you want it to also last long too. So in general, I would say it's good to have musks that you are really familiar with. And what I try to do as well, because I really hate the majority of musks that are used on the market, I looked for musks that were clean, that had a naturalistic aspect to them. So cashmeran, ethylene brassylate, those are my go-to musks. The number 1 and number 2 are always going to be those. After that, it's more situational, whether it's celestalide or muscatone, or whether it's zenolide or adenolide, whether it's, basically all the other ones, I'll use those situationally. But I basically have like 9 musks that I consider to be the so-called golden musks, and I have specific ranges for each of them. And whenever I need to look at what my base is going to do, I always think about like what the fragrance is supposed to do. Like, do I want this fragrance to be a dark fragrance? Do I want it to be a masculine fragrance? Do I want it to be airy? Do I want it to be soft? Do I want it to be harsh? Do I want it to be, fruity? Do I need it to be sweeter? Whatever I need it to do, I look at my list of golden musks, I look at the ranges, and then I use that and kind of like pick and choose which ones I'm going to use from there. And it's typically going to be like 2, 3, 4 musks, because you don't want to use a single musk. Using one musk makes it too simple. You want to typically add more musks for that complexity, for that depth.
Does anyone else think that romandolide smells like coconut? Smells like coconut to me.
You said that just as I was smelling the adenolide, and now I'm smelling coconut and adenolide.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Power suggestion.
Well,
So,
actually, I think adenolide is actually in romandolide, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it? That would make sense. They remind me of each other a little bit. Jay, are you thinking that the Tingly Accord is going to match with the Atlas Cedar?
Maybe some aspects of it, but the thing about it is that the way that I've structured the Tingly Accord is, it's a little bit I'm not really sure that it would, but let's try making the Tingly Accord first. And then what we can do is we can open up the Atlas Cedar and smell it side by side.
Put it next to it and see what's matching and what's not matching. I have a feeling the bergamot's not gonna go with it. But okay, all right, let's do the
that
rest
was my
of the
main fear as well. I'm also kind of worried about the allyl amyl glycolate, because it's like pineapple and Atlas Cedar. I'm just like, that doesn't really seem like it would necessarily work, but who knows? I just know for a fact that it's like cedar and citrus hate each other with a bloody passion.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
It's a freaking pain in the ass. Sorry for my language.
Okay.
It does. Actually, I think I made it with rum extract, and it was a little bit more interesting. I have to like re-smell the mixes, the blends, to see if it's still held up in time, because it's hard to deal with. Like no matter what I mix, it just was not.
Atlas Cedar is one of the most challenging materials to deal with. I love the smell of it pure. That's why we're doing it here, because my methodology so far has been bulletproof. Everything that it touches, it pretty much improves it or just makes it, awesome. So I'm just like, all right, let's go ahead and just like throw the worst case scenario at it and see which one breaks, whether it's my material, whether it's my methodology, or whether it's my favorite material. One of the two will give.
Okay, so I'm going to continue with the base notes. I'm going to go from the Ambroxan Fixature Veramos up. Okay.
Let's go with Veramos. That'll be 300 grams. Also, by the way, anyone who wants to, blend more often, or who wants to make their life a little bit easier with the mathematics, my recommendation, 100-gram batch for your tests, and you do 10 grams fragrance concentrate, because that way, when you're translating from percentages over to, the actual weights, It's so much easier if everything is just a multiple of 10. Like seriously, it'll save you from having to like pull out a calculator or having to pull out a spreadsheet. You can just do the math in your head by literally just moving the decimal point.
Did you say
It seems-
300 grams of Veramos?
Milligrams, I meant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're not making like the industrial size batches, we're just making the regular size batches. We're making
Okay.
one bottle, not a gallon. Although we may end up making gallons later, because it's like
Seems to be moving in that direction.
Mhm.
So 0.3 grams, is that correct for my?
0.3, yes, exactly. Okay,
Sorry, I
cool.
was like 300.
Yeah.
grams?
I know. Okay, all right,
It's like-
Veramos is in there now.
Yeah, it's like we don't do our trials quite in the pallet size, scale yet. We're
Not
just
yet,
doing them in
not
the
yet.
The giant
Yeah.
size for the
Yeah.
giants.
Yes,
But are you going
okay,
to?
It's fee
One
fi
of
fo
these
fum. I
days.
want to smell like rum.
yes. One of these days, Shackner, I'm gonna be buying things in pallets.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. So Veramos is in there.
Then 200 milligrams of Fixator 505E.
Okay.
Yeah, the Fixator I think is like one of the better workhorse ambergris
Ambers.
synthetics that you can use. But ideally, if you can get a hold of it, Grisalva is the best by far of any of the
Why have you not told me about this? What's Grisalva?
Grisalva is basically, it's like ambroxan, but better in every way. It's the ultimate in terms of like the ambergris. But the
Oh.
problem with it is expensive, just hella expensive. That's the issue. That's why
It's never stopped me before.
Oh, okay, well, go for it then. Sky's the limit. All right. But yeah, anyone who wants it, look up Grisalva, buy yourself a sample of it, and then if it's your thing, consider scaling up.
Okay, I'm doing my ambroxan my ambroxan next. That's 0.2, right?
Yeah. So it's 0.2 grams of the Fixator, and then we're going to do 0.4 of the Cetilox.
Oh, 0.4, that's right.
Okay.
Okay, because we're
First one.
going, Cetilox is weaker than.
I
Yeah.
don't have it.
Yeah, let me read the chat over here. Oh, I see someone mentioned Truth Adder. You
Have
mentioned
it.
Aurelion. Aurelion
Sure.
is a crazy musk. It loves to dominate. It smells like skin. So
It's funny, I don't get the skin connotation. I just got it a week ago and I've been playing with it this week and I've been really
Rolling.
happy with it so far.
also Aldambra is also very interesting. Aldambra is it's the one that
Aldambra.
smells like hot iron, like those clothes irons that you used to think about that smell on steroids.
Could
Yeah.
you guys spell these last two out in the chat, please?
Oh yeah, hold on. Aurelion, and then down.
Do we have a replacement for Fixator? That's a good question.
Replacement for Fixator. Well,
Ambretolide?
No, Ambretolide. No. Ambretolide is
Never mind.
Yeah.
I take that back.
Ambretolide is just very it's a musk that's I think it's found in the ambret seed, or it's meant to mimic what's found in the ambret seed. And
I don't know anything that replaces Fixator that I have in here.
yeah, I don't really think there is anything that replaces it, but yeah, the thing about Fixator is that it also contains Cetilox.
It's
That-
sweet. It's
It's salty as well. It has a salty sea breeze aspect to it.
it's sweet and salty and woody and ambery.
Mhm.
It's really nice.
Since there isn't a replacement for Fixator, I would just say just increase your dosage of Cetilox to make up for it.
Okay. Okay,
How much
cool.
Cetilox? Did you say how much percentage of Cetilox?
The percentage of hold up. The original formula I put in the chat, it's going to be like 2% ambroxan, 2% Fixator, 3% Veramos. But if you don't have, ambroxan, replace it with Cetilox. If you don't have Fixator, replace it with Cetilox.
Iron.
Iron? Oh, yeah, no. So it smells like a hot iron. So what I mean is that is like a clothes iron. So think about like, you know, like the clothes iron that you use to like iron your clothes, that kind of a smell. So it smells sort of like steam. It's just a very unique musk. I don't use it as one of my golden musks.
Which
Neither
one is
that
this?
nor the
It's
Aldambra.
the
Aldambra
Aldambra.
is
iron
yeah.
steam.
yeah. So I would just say like for me personally, I never touch the Aurelion. I never touch the Aldambra. Like they're interesting on their own, but they just take over the blend so much that I just like no, just out. I've tried using them before, and it's just like it's too difficult to tame them, at least in the kind of things that I do.
They're untamable.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's do these mid notes. Where do you want to start with the mid note? Z11?
Yeah, let's do the Z11. So for the Z11, that's gonna be 3%, and you have the HD one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What does the HD stand for?
I think it stands for high definition, but basically it's just like
Definition.
well, no, it's just higher purity, because the regular Z11 has like a lower amount of the more desirable molecules, and basically the HD version is just higher purity.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Got
Right.
it. Okay, so 0.3 of Z11.
Also, whenever you get the Z11, which is available right now on the Perfumer Supply House, make sure that you're getting the HD one if you just want higher purity. I generally recommend that, and also note that the 8.5 MIP, what that 8.5 means is that it's 8.5%, and MIP is the French acronym for isopropyl myristate. So basically it's a dilution that you're buying, because the pure Z11 comes in a powder, and unfortunately it's basically pure unobtainium because I can't find it to buy anywhere. And unless you have, you know, connections, I don't think you're probably getting it.
Ask Harry.
I might have to do that sometime.
He has a bunch of unobtainium stuff.
Right?
He has
His
a
store is
secret
basically
menu.
like unobtainium limited.
Yes. Okay, cool. So Z11's in there now. Yes, my face.
Jay, are you dropping the formula after the Zoom, or is it already in the channel? I didn't.
Oh, it's
see
already
it.
in the chat, and one of the top
Oh,
messages
okay.
in the chat. Just scroll up all the way up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Oh, Mare's here. Hi, Mare.
Hello.
Hello. Everybody's here. We are working our way through Jay's Tingly Accord. Catch you up. Let me just warm up my Olabonum really quick. I'll be right back.
That's totally fine. Oh, and I messed up the formula. Oh, hello.
The Sinan's different. Let's go, right? Damascene, dimethyl. 2,6, 2,4. Okay.
Can I ask a question, Jay?
Go for it.
So in developing this formula, did you like use scent strips and put them together, or was it more of like a mental picture?
Yep. Second. Yeah, because for me, basically, like once I figure out like the way that I think about formulas is like this. Typically speaking, there's going to be like for any given material, I find that there's an ideal range where you're going to find like the best results. And what I do then is I think about like where on that spectrum, the using that material at that dosage is going to do. So at a low dosage, for example, olibanum might just give like a distant sort of incensey kind of thing, but then it gives like a much more sharp and mysterious and much more present aspect once you use it at higher dosages, for example. So I would also just be like, I basically think about it in terms of like a graph. So imagine that you have like imagine that scent perception is sort of like a graph, that for any given second on a that you smell something, your mind is experiencing a scent sort of like a graph. And there's a certain area that's represented by sharpness. You might have a spike there. Then you might have a certain area that's represented by powderiness, and it might have like a little spike there too, depending on what your percentages are. And then if you want to think about that in the third dimension, you can sort of think of it like almost like a graph, But then imagine that you extend that out into sort of like a little cube, and then you have it sort of like decay over time, where each material, depending on its longevity, is going to have either a flatter curve or it's going to be like a sharper decline if it's a top note, because those top notes, they decay really quickly. And what you're thinking about also is that all of these scents, they're kind of like adding up to create sort of like that wave function of the ideal scent perception. So that's kind of what I think about when I'm doing the balancing, as it were, you know. So whenever I see like, oh, there's too much of a bump in the sharpness, well, I need to figure out a way to tame that out. So either I'm going to remove some materials or I'm going to add some materials to that to kind of tame out that sharpness. Yeah, so that's just one way of thinking about things. But yeah, if the more ways you approach your way of thinking about the scent and how it is perceived and how to balance it, the better it's going to be. Because if you just kind of like think about, if you try to balance out a fragrance from multiple angles at once, you'll kind of end up at a better situation at the end.
For the hydroflora, do you guys recommend Florahydrol or something else?
Oh, I don't have that either.
Okay, well, let's do this one. Since you don't have that one, do you have Ozoflor?
I have floral ozone.
Floralizone, I think Floralizone would be fine for this.
I have
Yeah.
Floralizone too.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Olibonum Volcane is 0.050.
Yeah, it'll be 50 milligrams. Yeah. So that's like maybe
Oh.
1 or 2 drops. Oh yeah, by the way, anyone who's interested, if you're wanting an Olibonum, get Olibonum Volcane. You can get it from Harry's shop. It's absolutely amazing. The single best Olibonum that I've ever experienced. Bar none.
What's the difference? Sorry. What's the difference between the core and that one?
Mhm.
How do you
Olibonum
pronounce it, right?
core is going to be a little
Core.
bit softer, just going to be a little bit more mellow. It's almost like how do I put it? Okay, think about it like this. It's almost like you've kind of like softened and muted it, where you just kind of like almost like a dilution, you know. It just loses a lot of its character. On the other hand, Olibonum Volcane doesn't lose any of its character. In fact, I'd say that it's accentuated. Like it just has more smokiness, more incensiness to it. So that's the reason why I think it's good, because the reason why we like material is because it smells different than other materials and because it has that uniqueness to it. Olibonum Volcane just has more uniqueness to it, more of that incense, frankincense, Olibonum aspect to it. So you just need less of it in your fragrance, which gives more room for everything else. But also you can just like overdose it more. And another advantage of the Olibonum Volcane, because it's a resinoid, it does not contain limonene. Limonene is going to be found in nearly everything. You're going to find it in Elemi essential oil. You're going to find it in frankincense essential oil. You're going to find it obviously in pretty much every single citrus. You're going to find it in rose. You're going to find it in just pretty much everything. Problem with limonene, it likes to oxidize. It likes to degrade, and it will ruin your scent over time. There's a reason why they include antioxidants, and it's because certain materials degrade. The way that I found to combat that, minimize your use of anything that contains limonene. Also, the thing about limonene is that not only is it an allergen, but it stacks. So the more materials with limonene that you have, the higher percentage of limonene you have. The problem with limonene is that limonene, like sweet orange essential oil, is 99% limonene. It's one of the few materials that is pretty much found as a natural isolate in nature. So the problem is that if you keep adding these materials, you just end up with a much more orangey scent. And all the things that make those different scents different, you're just decreasing the amount of those impurities. So you're making the bergamot smell less bergamoty, as it were, if you add bergamot essential oil and grapefruit essential oil, for example. And if you add that to mandarin essential oil, you're just reducing all of those other impurities and just increasing the relative amount of the limonene.
So it's very dark and smoky right now with the Olibonum.
Yep, but we're gonna fix that. That's why the whole tingly thing's there. So I would add the cashmere next. Oh, we should have probably let the cashmere next to the heater.
No, it's fine. I've got it in the tin.
Oh yeah, metal bottles, by the way. Metal bottles, if you can get them, they are amazing because they do not crystallize nearly as much as the glass ones.
So I always fight you on the amount of cashmere you put in your fragrances.
Don't worry about it. It's like the thing that I've learned is that cashmere, you can actually go as high as like 10%. But because some people,
0.45.
yeah, we're
0.45?
doing we're doing 450 milligrams in this case. But
Okay.
yeah, like in my experience, I'm okay with cashmere up to like 10-12% in a fragrance.
Yeah, I don't do
Wow.
that.
Wait, so what winds up happening? I've never dosed it that high.
You can smell
Cashmere.
it even under the top, even with the top notes, you can smell it at that high.
I just love it
Yeah.
because I think that cashmere just gives a nice softness and warmth and just a warm, comfy, fuzzy feeling inside. Yeah, so it's just like if I want my perfume to have that kind of effect, just tons of Ice Super and cashmere. And yeah, I also get that from
love your
Atlas
cashmere.
Cedar.
Sometimes you're right, though. It is better at a higher dosage. I will agree with you. Okay, so we're doing floralizone instead because I don't have hydrofleur.
Yeah, let's do maybe like a point. Let's do 0.2 of floralizone.
Cashmere Men.
Floralizone smells really good. Okay.
It's so strong.
What were you saying? 0.2?
Yeah. So we're gonna do like 20 milligrams. So basically 1 drop. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That I can do.
Hydrofleur is so much nicer.
Is it? Oh, don't say that. Do I have anything else?
Ozofleur, if you got it.
Ozofleur.
Kidding.
LMNO.
Hydrofleur is so much nicer.
Where? No, I don't see it. Anything else? Didn't you send me some stuff, Jay?
I did, but I'm not sure I sent you hydrofleur.
Hold on.
I think I sent you
What?
maybe Ozofleur. I know I sent you Lilial.
Did you send me this Cyclamax? Was that you?
Yeah, I think I did send you the Cyclamax. The Cyclamax I don't think is yeah, I don't think it would work in this case.
No, I know. I was just wondering, like, why is it there? Like, I don't remember buying that. Okay, all right. We're gonna do the floralizone and just pray for the best.
Yeah, 1 drop only.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's one of those one drop only type of materials. I can
Yep, it
tell.
is.
I can tell
It just-
already.
The description is very interesting, like raspberry melon. Is it like more fruity?
Raspberry melon.
For hydrofleur?
Floralizone, it's ozonic and clean, like something you would find in like one of those linen, oceany linen kind of a.
I was just talking
perfume.
about floralizone. I think you
Yeah,
were talking about the
Oh, hydrofleur.
yeah, the
Hydrofleur, yeah.
The hydrofleur, okay.
What does it smell like?
I think I actually got that wrong. I think I meant to put Ozofleur in here, but yeah, basically I've been trying to buy a bunch of like raspberry materials, and yeah, I think I still need to get hydrofleur. Yeah. So I think I messed up. I should have put Ozofleur
okay.
in there. Yeah. Ozofleur is fantastic. Better than Florhydral pretty much in every way. Better than Floralizone in pretty much every way. I haven't had hydrofleur yet, but it's my next one. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and-
then would Florhydro be a possible sub for that?
Possibly, yeah, Florhydral, but it's like
What
I would
about Florosa?
no. Florosa is not going to have like the
Sharp.
sparkly aspects that we're needing for this.
God.
Like the reason that I'm making this like the tingly accord and sparkly accord is all because it's all about sparkle. So think about like bergamot, think about like pineapple, think about like ginger and pink peppercorn. It's all about that sort of like that zing, that sort of like that shine. You know, that's what this is all about. The other stuff like the Veramos, that's just there to increase longevity, pretty much.
Mm.
Okay, pink peppercorn is going to be 0.3.
30
right?
milligrams.
Softer, calmer.
Pink peppercorn, where are you? I just used you the other day.
Yeah, this sounds interesting. Yeah, hydrofleur does sound interesting. Just looking at it.
Yeah, I want it too
Sentinel.
on my list. Okay.
I've tried Sentinel. Sentinel is pretty good, but yeah, I just don't. I haven't used it in forever, so yeah, I just need to kind of become more familiar with it. What I did when I was learning perfumery early on was I got a ton of these ozonic materials that are long lasting because I thought that I was just gonna really like love those materials. And same for like super long lasting citruses, because I was like, maybe I'll be the perfumer who finally cracks that nut and figures out how to make that long lasting natural smelling lemon. No, you're not going to be that perfumer. No, it's just like it's not happening. The scent of lemon is uncrackable.
Oh,
What was,
ginger.
Yeah, ginger. I put 0.5, but let's do 0.3 instead. Let's do like 30 milligrams, and
those-
we'll see where
no.
it goes.
Let's see.
Sentinel.
Let's see where it goes.
Softer, calmer. Close to Sentinel.
Oh yeah, I do have Muguissimo. Muguissimo is more Lily of the Valley. It does seem like it would be interesting, but it's I don't know. I tend to find that if I'm going for Lily of the Valley, it's hydroxycitronellol and cyclomethylate citronellol. That's pretty much it that I use. But a Muguissimo
so
could be a
nice.
third edition.
It's really hard to work with, I find, even though I love it on its own.
Yep.
Mm.
Later on, I've got to make we're gonna make one of these calls one of these days where I go over soft aquatics, and that way I can show y'all how to make an aquatic that's actually acceptable, that's gonna be soft and pleasant, and that's gonna be fresh. Like that's
You know-
my whole idea. Yeah.
Ginger goes
Oh.
really nicely with cashmere, because I have another fragrance that I use a lot of cashmere in, and it smells really good with ginger.
there was another material that I'm just trying to look up the formula. It's like Lily of the Valley material that I recently got. That's absolutely fantastic. But
Ooh, tell us.
give me 1 second. I have to find the blend
Okay.
I made it in.
Is it Lyrol or is it Liliol by any chance?
Really?
It might be. Hold on. I'll tell you in 1 second. Let me
Yeah, because
see.
those are banned. Yeah, Lyrol and Liliol are pretty much banned. Pretty much.
No,
Tell
it's
me
not those guys.
anyways.
It's a new
Oh.
one. It's a new one. It's I think it's to replace those actually. Hold on.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
exciting.
then I'm
No,
interested in that because that's like I've been trying to find like a replacement for Lyrol and Liliol since forever.
Lily, oh, maybe. No, Lilial. Is it Lilial or Lilial? Yeah. Well, they're banned. I don't think they're banned in the US though yet.
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna say, some of the stuff here is just, they warn against it, but it's not banned.
It's not banned. Not
let me
yet.
find that over here. Because I remember that the US was banned, I think was Liliol, or it was Lyrol. Like the US banned one of those. I remember. Let me find it over
I think
here.
it's I don't know if it's banned. It's frowned upon. A lot of people changed the formula. I'm not sure
Lily
if it's
formula.
quite banned yet.
Let me check over here. I just remember that I found one of those the US had
over.
actually banned.
Oh, it is. Knowing me, I'll use it anyways. They banned Carinol, and so I bought like a giant bottle of it. I was like,
Carinol was amazing.
you're not
loved
gonna
it.
tell me what to do.
Mhm.
Catch me if you can. All right, so bergamot's the next thing on the list.
Yeah, it's go ahead.
Going into our top notes now. Bergamot is going to be 0.1.
Yeah. 0.1 grams, so 100 milligrams.
100 milligrams. Okay, here we go. I'm sure it's going to be good.
Scent of lemon. Lemony.
Yes. All right. See what that smells like.
Cracked it.
Who else is blending along with us here?
I'm attempting.
Great, awesome. Yay.
Just made 2 substitutions, so I think that's not too bad.
Yeah. It's very tingly, Jay.
That's what I was going for. Yeah, it's the whole idea is that it's supposed to be like this sort of like summery kind of thing that's gonna not quite metallic, but it has like that sort of like zing, that sort of zest, that sort of freshness. It's just meant to be like a really nice sort of like poolside or or if you're going on a little like like those little boats that you rent out on one of those little reservoirs that you can take out and go like
The
fishing.
paddle boats?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just like whenever you're renting one of those little paddle boats and going fishing on like one of those little reservoirs or a little lake. Yeah, something that you're doing for like one of those occasions.
Got it. Okay, so amyl glycolate.
Yeah, that's 20 milligrams of that one.
So about a drop.
Yeah. And then manzanate is going to be like half of that. So, we're just going to do that trick where you just like put the pipette in. It's not quite a drop. And then you just like lean it up against the side of the beaker. Yeah.
Yes.
That's one of the tricks that we use for like doing sub drop dosages. The problem is that your scale might not register it correctly. So it's like,
Toothpicks. My scale never registers it correctly. I have to eyeball it.
yeah. Also, the toothpick trick is amazing. And if you haven't used the toothpick trick, what you do is
Go
go ahead.
replacement.
Replacement for amyl glycolate. It's a pineapple-y kind of a thing.
Mhm.
I
think aloe
saffronate maybe.
I don't think saffronate would work as replacement. But if you have any sort of pineapple material, like I think it's like amyl hexanoate, for example, is going to be kind of close. Basically, pretty much any pineapple material you have. If you have a pineapple accord, maybe use that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hello, hi, Mare.
Yeah. Hey,
Hello.
meow. Hi, Mare. Sorry, you're not feeling good.
And for the manzanate, yeah, we could either do one of two things. So, Shannon, why don't you go?
Let me smell this. Let me smell it. Oh, it's very tingly, very pineapple-y, gingery. Okay. I'm curious what this smells like with the manzanate.
Yeah, smell it next to the manzanate, and then smell it next to the Robert J. apple without the acetaldehyde. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the manzanate's like very tingly. Let me smell it next to apple.
Mm-hmm.
Green slug. Green slug.
I mean, the apple to me smells really good. I wonder what fructate smells like next to it. Or fructolone. Sorry. Fructone. Fructone. God damn. The fructone smells nice next to it.
I have an idea. Did you get the Frystone yet or no?
Yeah, I have Frystone.
Yes, let's try that, because Frystone is actually strawberry scented. So I'm wondering, like, maybe strawberry with pineapple and bergamot. Like, that could be really interesting for like a summery note.
It's unusual.
Unusual good or unusual bad? Or unusual neutral?
Usual.
I think it's unusual. So the
How unusual is that?
Well, which kind of unusual? Good, bad, neutral?
Well, I think what I'm trying to say is the fructone does like a sour apple refreshing kind of a thing. And then the apple essence is a sweet, earthy thing. The manzanate is a tingly, sweet, earthy thing. And then the Frystone smells sour. Not
Okay.
sour in a good way, but like a neutral,
interesting.
dry sour.
Well, since we're going for tingly, let's go ahead with the manzanate, and we'll just use like the
Maybe fructone. Let me smell the manzanate next to the fructone. See what that smells like. Fructone is so strong though, you have to use it in like subatomic particles to get it to behave. Oh no, that smells terrible.
Firestone is pretty tough from what I remember.
Frystone?
Yeah, for me, it smells like if you open like a box of like strawberries. That's kind of what it smells like. It has strawberry, but it's like the fresh strawberry. It doesn't smell like
it's like the leaves and the wood and there's all sorts of stuff going on in there. It's not like a strawberry sweet. It's like a strawberry sour. Stems. Yeah, strawberry stems. I like it. I feel like either the Hold on. So let me spell the manzanite next to it again.
Yeah, I want to get some manzanite. I haven't played with it yet. I heard it's pretty nice.
It almost has a little bit of a nail polish smell to it.
With the manzanite?
Polish.
Okay.
With
In that case-
in conjunction with this, it smells a little bit like
Okay.
that
Well, in
apple.
that case, that's why we tried it out. So it didn't work out. So in that case, let's go with the Robert A. Apple without acetaldehyde. Yeah.
In
So
terms
then
of top notes, this is the sweet top note.
Why is it
That's
all
fine.
like that?
Okay, and that's a very sour. Okay, so do you want it sweet or sour? That's the question.
Not sure. Let's do like a little bit more sweeter, slightly, just slightly sweeter.
Yeah, I agree. I like the apple essence. Okay, so I'm gonna cross that out and do apple essence, and we're
Oh.
just doing what?
We're doing like 0.1, so it's gonna be like half a drop. So you're just gonna like do the drop pipette and then put pipette, yeah, kind of thing. So yeah, it's almost like yeah,
Just dipping it in there.
yeah.
Not a full drop. Okay, let's see what that smells like. That's nice.
I'd say it's interesting material, but
Very interesting material. So basically like an apple-y. You love apple top notes.
Yeah,
I like that.
honestly, like the thing that me and Puck struggle with the most right now is like our mids and our tops. Those are where we have like the most difficulty.
Yeah,
Now,
our
there-
bases are great.
Yeah.
But when we get to the mids, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Also, one thing that I'm thinking that we might want to do with this one, Shannon, smell it next to the patchouli and smell it next to the jasmine sambac, because we could add that. Also, the poivrol. The poivrol could be really
Oh, we
interesting.
forgot the poivrol.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Because I forgot to include it in my list, anyways, as well. So
You
it's
said
like,
patchouli, correct?
yeah, the patchouli. Let's smell it next to the patchouli and the poivrol.
Okay.
Oh, and the anisyl acetate. And maybe the cyclomethylene citronellol as well.
Calm down.
Anisole, huh? That one, I think I worked with it before. It's pretty strong.
No, anisyl acetate? Hold on, there are many
Oh,
anisyl
anis.
materials.
Wait, which one am I talking about? Let me see.
Anisyl acetate is like a anise, but it smells a lot like almonds too. It's really
just
nice, actually.
It's very light, very transparent. It's sort of like
So I don't think this takes it in a tingly direction. I feel like it moves it but below the water. the
all right.
patchouli.
Jasmine
take it back.
sambac.
I think I'm talking about the either anisyl alcohol or anisyl aldehyde.
Oh,
Yeah, those are different. Yeah, those are very different.
Yeah, acetates
and-
are probably not.
Try the anisyl acetate. If you don't have it, maybe put it on your to order list, because anisyl acetate, after smelling it, I believe that it should be a workhorse in pretty much every perfumer's, like, their perfumer organ, because it's literally just going to give you like a
Lovely.
transparent builder and floralizer, but it's just going to be so light, so gentle, and just
Oh.
so
it's like
airy.
it's like an almondy,
It's more almondy.
sweet, light, gentle. So the jasmine smooths it out. It makes the tingle less tingly,
Interesting.
if that makes any sense. It smells
Well-
nice, but it becomes something not tingly.
Hmm.
Right now, it's lovely. It's tingly. It's sparkly. It's nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
All right, what about next to the anisyl acetate and
Yeah.
the cyclomethylene citronellol?
Okay, so let's smell that. I have my theories. I feel like the anisyl is probably going to work, but
Anisole is pretty off. I mean, even with those stronger material, which I don't have the acetate, but in small doses, they do pretty interesting things.
The thing about
Um,
anisyl acetate is that it doesn't smell like licorice. That's the thing
Mhm.
about specifically the acetate. That's why I think it could be something that every perfumer has in their perfumery organ, because it just smells like this general, vague sort of like almost like the memory of what a flower should smell like. but
It's-
it,
Yeah, it's
It might
very
be what I'm
soft
looking
and
for.
sweet. Soft, sweet, and round. I mean, it smells really nice with this.
I have to get
Again,
that. That
what
sounds
was the
good.
other one that you wanted me to smell it next to? Anisole acetate and then cyclosia base?
yeah, yeah, a little cyclomethylene citronellol. I recently discovered that cyclosia base is just hydroxycitronellol. It's not the same as cyclomethylene citronellol.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though they
so
both have cyclo in the name, for some reason, yeah.
cyclomethylene citronellol is, where is it?
Did you get Anisole acetate on Perfumer's Apprentice or Perfumer's
Perfumer's
House?
Apprentice, yes, that's where
Yeah,
I got it
that's
from.
Oh,
where I
okay.
got mine. Hang on, let me find this material. I just used it the other day.
Oh, and truth there, how's it turning out for you so far?
Sorry, my hands were full and I was muted.
All good.
No, I'm mixing. I'm mixing the original formula you posted in the chat.
Mhm.
And I'm currently the olibanum. And yeah, it's nice and zingy and woody. I like how everything's playing with the cashmere so far. So I've just got like 3 or 4 more materials to add, I think.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and also one thing that's really super important, I cannot emphasize this enough. Get yourselves the best alcohol you can, preferably 200 proof food grade or like something similar. Like
The alcohol
because-
lecture. I get lectured. I get this lecture all the time.
You're getting the authentic Shannon experience right here.
Yes, the whole thing. I
Where do you
would
even get
say
200?
Huh?
I would say the cyclomethylene citronellol is really nice with this, and it adds to the tingliness. The anisole is sweet and round, and it rounds
Mhm.
it instead of making it sparkle. So that's my
More
opinion.
rounder. Huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
So Greets, like you had a
It's
question.
nice with it. It's just I mean, it's nice with it. Yeah, the anisole is very nice with it, but I feel like if we had to pick just one or the other, I would go with the cyclomethylene.
Well,
Okay.
do you think we should
Oh.
add it or no? Does it make it better?
Yeah, I
or
think
no?
we should add it. I actually really liked it. I just wouldn't put a lot in there.
Okay, then 1%, so 100 milligrams. Green Slug, you had a question or comment?
Yeah, I was just wondering, where do you get to 200?
Okay, I go to
Food
BVV.
proof.
It does ship in the US. So let me go ahead and post that in chat.
How much did you say of this?
What?
Drop?
Oh yeah, 100 milligrams.
Oh,
150,
okay,
yeah.
100.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really like the way that smells, but we'll see, because I've put this in things before and taken it out. It's one of those materials where I keep taking it out. Keep in mind.
Well, generally speaking, I tend to put cyclomethylene citronellol at 4%, and what's the name, and cyclomethylene citronellol, sorry, and hydroxycitronellol, I'll put it like 3%. Generally, those are going to be my like that amount. So 3% cyclomethylene, sorry, 3% hydroxycitronellol and 4% of the cyclomethylene citronellol. That's
Okay.
going to be my combination for Lily of the Valley materials, typically in almost every scenario. And
Okay. So
usually
let's
it
see
works
what
fine.
that. Let's see what that. Oh, it's lovely. Okay, to me, this is very tingly. I have cyclosia.
Hmm.
Oh, that's Mara that was asking. I have cyclosia. I've used it before. It's also lovely. Cyclosia base.
Basically the same as hydroxycitronellol, no? Just like a higher grade.
Yeah. Is this a higher grade?
Which one? Oh, no,
Cyclosia
no.
base?
So cyclosia base is actually from a specific manufacturer, if I'm not mistaken. And also one thing that happens is that you kind of have to like look at the different kinds. Generally speaking, in my experience, after smelling it side by side, the cyclosia base from Perfumer's Supply House and the hydroxycitronellol pure from Perfumer's Apprentice, I would go with the hydroxycitronellol, sorry, hydroxycitronellol, so the AL at the end.
Yeah.
High Laurine from Perfumer's Apprentice is the one that I think is the highest quality. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Okay, so I noticed with this one that, what is the perfect percentage for this? Because I keep having to lower it because there's a waxy note
Okay.
on the dry down for this stuff. So just be careful with it because it will it
Yeah,
will make a
okay.
waxy note.
If you don't mind the waxy note, and I don't,
it.
but
I
some
don't like
people
it.
do. If you don't,
Yeah.
don't mind it, 3%. 3% is the correct level. Now, if you do mind it, then I would probably dose it like even lower. I would do it like 1% or less.
Is that one?
I love your
restricted
tingle
too?
cord.
Huh?
Is that one restricted or not?
Hydroxycitronellol, yes, heavily. Well, not
Okay, yeah,
heavily, but
really?
it is restricted. You have to keep an eye out for hydroxycitronellol, or which is also cyclosa base. It's the cyclomethylene citronellol, which is not restricted. That's the good one. Oh, and also, Shannon, the Beyond Lily Floor, that's the material that they were talking about earlier.
That's the
Oh,
one. Yeah, but I
Beyond
didn't want to
Lily.
just. Yeah, I didn't want to distract the chat. Yeah, that's the one. It's like really
Please
nice.
distract me with new materials that I need to buy.
Yeah, I got a sample of it. It's so smooth. It's just like you can just like use it by itself. Like,
Oh, yay. Oh,
Mhm.
awesome.
Like-
Okay, so your tingly cord is tingly. It's lovely. Whew. Should we smell it next to the cedar and see what happens? Why not?
Well, let's smell it next to the cedar just to see where it's at.
Just
Oh,
to
and also,
see.
do we got the Poivrol or no?
Is it a final product? Okay.
I mean, they're not a match made in heaven. Poivrol. Oh, we forgot about the Poivrol, huh?
Let's add 2 drops of
Wait.
Poivrol and see where we're at.
Hold on. Hold on.
Yep. No. Is it a final product? It's more than enough.
So to me, Poivrol isn't sparkly. It flattens things. Am I the only one that finds that?
Interesting. I find that it has like a sort of like little tingle aspect in the nose, like sort of like cracked black pepper. But yeah, if you're saying that it doesn't match, that it flattens things, let's go with what your nose says.
Hold on. Let me smell it. I mean, we could add it. I just don't know if it's going to add anything to this.
Well, maybe add 1 drop only, and we'll see what happens.
I agree with you. I think 1 drop would be okay. Okay. All right. Why not? Okay.
Oh yeah, by the way, for anyone curious about what that toothpick trick is, you get yourself a little toothpick, you put it into the material, and then you actually will just kind of like whack the little toothpick on the side of the bottle to get most of the material off the toothpick and back into your raw material bottle. But that little residue that's coating that toothpick, you're going to use it to stir in your fragrance concentrate. And that's how you can get like really close to like sub-drop levels, like to add basically trace amounts that are going to be too small to be detected on your scale. And that's a great way to just like add like tiny little amounts, especially when you're having like really tough materials to work with.
So
Like,
it made it more spicy. I do like it with the Poivrol. I wouldn't do more than just 1 drop. So.
good. Sounds good. All right. The next step is just going to be to incorporate the alcohol and then to put it on the little stir bar, and maybe you can show like what that looks like, just like the little magnetic stirrer. For anyone who doesn't have a magnetic stirrer, it's going to be one of your best friends eventually.
It's like this. Okay, so we're putting how much alcohol?
Oh, did you already have the Cenolox or no?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So in that case, we're adding 90 grams of alcohol. Oh wait, also 1/2 gram of BHT. By the way, 1/2 gram of BHT is going to be a golden amount. It's an antioxidant, it's a preservative. It's just going to be a great way for you to increase the longevity of your perfume, especially if you have materials that are prone to oxidation. Anything with linalool, anything
So that's
with
0.5,
liniment.
0.5, right?
No, we're doing by weight of the final product. So we're doing half a gram of it. So we're doing 500 milligrams. Because it's not based on the fragrance concentrate, it's based on the percentage of the finished formula.
Oh, saffronol is so strong. Yeah, even like I apply it on the head of the toothpick, and even then it's too strong. Like it's so friggin' strong.
Basically, we could try to add it here in this case. I think saffronol might be a good addition.
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
You sure? Even if you just put like the tip of the toothpick and then like really rubbed it against like the bottle that it came in, just to like.
I highly doubt it, but I'm gonna smell it next to it and see. I don't associate leather with
Okay.
Is it stronger than saffroline?
Oh yes, saffronol is way stronger than saffralane, and also saffralane doesn't smell.
I'm never gonna use this in like 10 lifetimes. This is so much. I don't know why I bought so much of this.
Yeah, saffronol is really powerful, but it's amazing. Amazing.
It smells really good. Smells
Yeah.
really good.
Does
Okay,
also-
wait. So I'm adding 500 milligrams of BHT.
Yes, I know it seems like a lot, but basically,
It seems.
yeah, the reason why you'd add so much of it is because it has to be by the weight of the finished alcohol, because it's the percentage of BHT in the finished product that's actually going to protect the other molecules. You want the BHT to oxidize rather than your fragrance molecules. That's why you got to put it like that. Because the idea is that if there's a free radical, like a random like little oxygen molecule floating around in your perfume formula, you want it to touch that BHT and be neutralized rather than it breaking down your limonene or your linalool. Anything that it contains linalool or limonene or anything like that, or any sort of like the terpenes, so pine materials, wood materials, cedar materials, you always want to add BHT if you want it to have a long shelf life. If you're just going to use it like quickly, or if it's just like a random trial.
So what's the percent? This is so 5%. 5% of the finished product with the
no,
alcohol.
not 5% of the finished product, because we're doing 100 grams for this batch. So therefore, half a gram is 0.5% of the finished product, which is what we want. We don't want 5% of the finished product. It's 0.5 of the finished product.
Oh, okay, got it, 0.5. Sorry. Okay,
Mhm.
I can't do math in my head. I can't do
Oh.
math. Period. Not even in my head.
Yeah.
but Is there
Neither can
anything? Thank you, math challenged people everywhere.
That's why I have
Okay.
formulaire. It's like the best
That's
thing
why I
ever.
have formula exactly.
Yeah.
Same. Okay, cool. And so I'm adding 90 grams. Let me just get a beaker and get myself all set up with that. Hold on.
Yes, so Bill OB is correct right there on when he says that saffronol is much more closer and woodier to the real saffron. Yes, absolutely. Saffralane is not anywhere close to, well, how do I? Saffralane is a close second. It's
Relative.
distantly related to
Cousin.
saffron, and ethyl saffronate is nowhere near anything relating to saffron. Just like it smells like roasted apples and it smells like roses. It smells like potpourri. It does not smell like actual, like
Close to the real saffron.
yeah. By the way, the best thing that you can do if you want like the legit smell of saffron is to make your own saffron tincture. It's only going to be marginally better though than like the saffronal, because saffronal is like 98% of the way close to the scent of true saffron. If you make your own real saffron tincture, you also have to deal with the fact that when you use that in perfumes, you will be staining your skin and your clothes yellow. So just get used to that. Yeah, I learned that the hard way, but also it makes the most beautiful color ever. Like seriously, the color of saffron dye is gorgeous. If you want like the truest, deepest, like richest sort of hue of yellow, saffron tincture is amazing. Also, it's not that expensive to make saffron tincture. All you really need is like a little packet of like $30 of saffron, like 3 grams from Amazon. You put that in like a little bottle of alcohol, and then you shake it up periodically. I made like 100 like grams of saffron tincture, or was it like 50 grams or something like that? And it's amazing. Also, 1 drop of that, you put it in tea. Oh my goodness, saffron tea is amazing.
Yeah, cephalene also, I use that in like rose mixes too. It's like to kind of give it
Would you
that stemmy
propose
effect.
to be a saffron?
What is that, Bill? I couldn't hear what you said, Bill.
Oh, he's off.
All right. Oh, specific. One thing that you could do, I totally recommend you do set up that magnetic stir when you get a chance. It's really going to be amazing once you have that set up, because that thing, you just set it next to you like your scale, and then whenever you need to hit it up a material, you simply turn that on. But make sure you never leave the lid on while you're heating up a material, because explosions and glass shrapnel, and it's like you don't want a grenade inside your house. It's not a good time. Yeah. Oh, and the magnetic stir, it's going to be such a help because you can actually stir materials without introducing oxygen into them. And you just, so that way you don't have to like shake a little bottle and rattle it back and forth and just basically pre-oxidize your formula for you. No. Also, you can leave it unattended. You don't have to put any effort into it. It's so much better that way. Yeah.
How big is it? Is it a big?
Oh, like she has it right there. So she has a giant freaking beaker right there. And yeah.
Thank you for noticing.
It's all good.
I need to pour this back and forth a little bit because there's BHT stuck on the bottom of it.
Wow, that beaker's amazingly giant. I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I found actually bigger ones.
Oh, of course. Don't compete. All right.
I found bigger ones online though, and I found even bigger
I
bottles.
have a bigger beaker. I have a giant one back there, which I do actually use sometimes when I'm making. So I use it to melt things down.
Yep.
Yeah, where did you get such a
Okay.
big giant beaker?
Was it
Amazon.
I guess I wasn't. Oh, okay. Okay. fair
Yeah,
enough.
and the funny thing is that these beakers, I guess they're from like Asia somewhere, but they pack them in the most creative way I've ever seen. Like they used every type of packing material you could imagine. It looked like they had shredded up like fabric, and then they
Oh, wow.
wrap them in foam, and then they wrap the fabric around the outside, and it looks like pieces of like the inside of furniture. I mean, it was so weird. I was unwrapping things and laughing the entire time because I was like, this is so strange. But they arrived. None of them were broken, but
I
Okay,
wonder if
so
they actually
I'm
went
just-
dumpster diving from like the excesses of like like the scraps from like a factory, and then we're
it was
just
like scraps from some other part of the factory is what it looked like. They were like, well, let's just wrap it in this like, sofa material. It was like bits of foam, like the kind that you would see inside of a pillow, along with like upholstery. and then like regular wrapping material like foam and bubble wrap and stuff. But it was like a variety of things. String. There was like I was like, okay, I'm totally confused. Okay, cool. So I'm waiting for the BHT to dissolve and incorporate in there.
Yeah, and
Anyways,
if you
this is what
notice
it
the
looks like.
pebbles at the bottom, the Cetelox pebbles, those will take forever to dissolve because Cetelox is a bitch to dissolve, just straight up.
Not to pre-dilute it.
Yeah, you could pre-dilute it.
The problem with pre-diluting it is unless you pre-dilute it in alcohol,
Yeah.
then what you're ending up doing is you're flattening your fragrance. So I always recommend use
True.
pure materials whenever possible.
This is true.
Unless it's like maltol.
How did
Oh
you
God,
just
they
say
never-
that? And I literally had it in my hand. You are a witch. That's my mom.
Really?
I hate it so much. It never dissolves
Part
ever.
about
Ever.
It doesn't dissolve ever.
It
It's
does
true.
not. It does
I was
not.
actually handling it one time and I got some under my fingernail. I thought it was a piece of sugar and I ate it. And then I immediately texted Jay and I was like, I just ate maltol crystal. And
I think you actually can eat it. I think it's edible because it
I
tells you
believe so.
It's a flavoring.
Yeah. It's a
I believe that
flavoring.
they actually use it for making what is it? I think it's Peking duck or something like that. It's basically
Really?
like one of those Chinese duck things, and you basically like lather it on, but it's like almost like a sticky tar because it's just like it's.
Is it like monosodium
might be-
glutamate?
No. Monosodium glutamate is actually a crystal. It's a hard thing. I think maltol is more of a tar itself, more of a resin or something like that.
I think it's ethyl maltol that's edible. I'm not sure if maltol is. I mean, it might be. It's maltol.
I
is
thought
really
maltol was the edible
Ethyl
one.
maltol is toxic.
Oh, I thought.
ethyl
lovely.
maltol. Okay,
That's what I ate.
so it's maltol
Just
that's
one
edible
crystal
then.
though. I lived. But yeah, it
Wait.
was under my fingernail and I thought, oh, it's a little bit of sugar or something because it has the same texture and like right down the hatch. It just went right down.
Let me see, is it ethyl maltol?
Yeah, ethyl maltol is the white crystal. I think
This is
regular.
very tingly, Jay. I must say, it's extremely tingly.
Good. That's exactly what I was going for.
Yeah, it
So-
smells really good. It would work. It would work. in my
Auto correcting me.
No, it says ethyl maltol is used in taste for
Hmm.
let me see. That's what it, let me look.
Maltol.
I'm trying to find over here maltol.
Oh, maybe not.
I have some
It
soaps
says
that I
taste
make
description.
that have a lot of maltol in it, and so I have a lot of maltol because I make big batches of things sometimes.
Ethyl maltol.
Big batches.
Maltol.
That's a lot of ethyl maltol.
Let me find it over here. Okay.
That's dead.
Apparently you can use it out up to 100 ppm or 100 parts per million. So that'll be 0.01% of the food by volume. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's good to
Oh
know.
no, sorry, that's just the taste description. Okay. Oh yeah, but for food, yeah, for food you can use it up to 100 parts per million apparently, as food safe for maltol, not ethyl maltol. Yeah. Yeah, so I was right.
Wait,
Yeah.
but it says ethyl maltol and it gives a taste description. Let me see.
Taste. Can you taste that?
Let
no.
me look that up.
It doesn't taste like anything. You just smell it.
Yeah. Oh, apparently the taste description it says that it's sweet, burnt cotton candy,
Candy.
sugar-like with jammy
No.
strawberry notes.
I've tasted it. It doesn't taste like anything. It doesn't have.
We'll go.
I
with
would
what
know.
But then again, you did have it pure, which is a very different percentage than like the 100 ppm.
This is true. This is true. Okay, cool. So, do you want to work a little bit on the Atlas cedar fragrance?
Yeah, absolutely,
sitting here.
absolutely. All right,
Doing
so
our
the Atlas cedar, we're just basically going to be improvising this entire thing. 'cause
fooling
we-
around. We're fooling
yeah.
around with it. Yeah. Let's see what it smells nice next to. And then I need to get upstairs and have something to eat because I only had coffee and cigarettes today.
Mhm. Coffee and cigarettes. Isn't that like a French diet or something? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yes, I'm hoping to lose
There
weight.
was a show that was called that, where somebody would do interviews with famous people, and it was actually like a documentary series.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really interesting. Thank you. I have to leave now.
Oh,
what'd you say?
he's leaving.
Oh, you're taking off? Oh, I added cardamom, cassis, apple, and floral hydrol to the blend and up the ginger and pink pepper. Great.
And how did it turn out?
I want to smell it next to the cardamom now. That's really interesting.
Cardamom.
Yeah, I thought the cardamom was really interesting. But then after a while, I don't think it might have been the cassis gave it a bit of a shower gel vibe that I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, the thing about it is that a lot of those materials, a lot of the things that I added in that are meant to kind of give it like a similar impression to what's the name, to Creed Aventus, but I decided to give my own twist to it and basically make my own tingly version of Creed Aventus, but in a style that I like.
The cardamom smells really nice with it, actually. Cardamom's a very good
Yeah.
compliment.
Yeah, I like the
Maybe-
cardamom, and I wanted it even more tingly, so I added more ginger and pink pepper. But we'll see what I think of that tomorrow when my nose is fresh.
Yeah, I know.
Also,
You hit a wall. You hit a certain point where you're just like, I cannot smell anymore. No, thank you.
yes.
Mhm.
Also, maybe
cardamom's
you
nice
can
too.
add one drop if you think that that'll help, or maybe like less than a drop.
I'm just gonna put it on the notes here as a potential cardamom 1 drop. I'll just put it you know, as a little plus.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right.
So next step,
So the Atlas Cedar. Should we just like brainstorm materials? We don't have to do any blending. We can just brainstorm and just like pull out stuff that we think would smell with Atlas Cedar. And you guys can put some stuff that you have ideas in the chat if you have any thoughts on what
Like
goes well with
other
cedar.
woods were probably okay. Some of the alcoholic extracts I think worked okay. I think milky materials.
Like chocolate.
I haven't tried it with chocolate, but like
Let's
definitely not citrus. I think some flower potentially materials.
Here's
Think
what it
worked.
smells
for
like
me.
the chocolate.
Huh? Yeah.
yeah, for me, what I would say like
Yeah.
would really enhance like Atlas Cedar is you want to go for the warmth that Atlas Cedar has. So you're probably going to want to enhance that with cashmerean, among other materials.
You think?
Then you're probably also going to want to we're really going to want to go high on the Islay Super to really also help with that warmth and so forth.
Yes.
Maybe add some Veramos to add a little bit more woodiness to the bottom. I'd probably also go for some spices like nutmeg, allspice. Those are going to be the spices that are going to be
So-
predominant.
I think nutmeg and let me smell the nutmeg and allspice next to it. Let me see. Hold on. Where's my?
I wonder if like cumin extract would be interesting.
It could cumin extract. The problem with that is that cumin can give a BO aspect. So
Yeah.
What's the problem with that?
well, I mean, it really depends on whether you want it to be like warm and inviting or just kind of like warm and
Sweaty.
Yeah.
Like
Sweaty.
portrait of a lady.
Well, hopefully it's more of like. I can't make that joke. No.
Uh-oh.
We're being recorded.
Yeah, we are being recorded. This is true. Okay, so let me smell it next to the spices. Let me start with nutmeg and see what that smells like.
Nutmeg is going to give a cooling effect, so it's going to give a balancing effect to the cedar, which I think is going to be beneficial.
I think it could work.
It also should give like a little bit of freshness, a little bit of metallics, almost like zinginess to it. Nutmeg has that quality. It's a good material.
It works really nicely with it. They play well together. They complement each other. There's aspects of nutmeg that smell very similar to the Atlas Cedar aspects, and so it's just like a natural fit. Like they just sort of sing together, and you're not really discern one from the next. But let me smell allspice next to it. See what that smells like.
Yeah,
love
allspice,
allspice.
I just think just is like such a versatile spice that it just like it goes with everything. It's in the name. It's allspice.
Yeah. Again, it just sweetens it up, but it has similar aspects to the Atlas Cedar, and so they're singing together. So I think the nutmeg and allspice are good. I like the
Cardamom?
idea of the chocolate. I actually put it next to the chocolate van. It's really interesting.
Huh. Oh, I have to
One
try
thing-
that because chocolate one's pretty interesting.
See what it smells like together and tell me what you think. I kind of liked it, but not a lot of chocolate van. Just maybe a little.
Oh, one
What
thing that
other
might
milky-
be interesting: try cinnamic alcohol next to the
Cinnamic
Atlas
alcohol?
Cedar, because I think that if anything is going to really work with the Atlas Cedar, I think it's going to probably be like cinnamon and florals. Like I'm thinking like anisyl acetate, for example, is just going to be no.
What is that? No.
I don't know about the cinnamic alcohol. That would be something I would add later afterwards after I'm done smelling.
Mer recommended. Mer had something over there.
Clove.
Yeah, clove.
Oh, clove. That's a good idea. Let's see where's my clove. Clove. Can I just use eugenol? She's all no.
For me, I'm not a huge fan of Atlas Cedar, but something I do like about it is it has a spiritual quality to it. Like you smell it and you just know that it's been used for hundreds of years. And so I would probably go like the resinous wraps with like cistus,
Cool.
bois d'encens, other resins, maybe even like leathery things like IBQ, tiny, tiny, tiny traces. Could be interesting.
What about?
It could be. I would say like cassia leaf might actually be interesting, or Ceylon cinnamon might also be interesting.
Mhm.
All right, found my clove. See what that smells like.
What about methyl diatlantis?
Methyl diantilis?
Diantilis
Methyl diantilis could be interesting.
instead of the eugenol.
We'll have to see though. Really depends on the results.
The clove is really nice.
Clove, okay.
It gives it a chocolatey vibe. So all of this is like turning into like a
Notes.
Mexican hot chocolate accord.
Well, I think the whole
Which
idea,
I don't mind. I don't mind that at all.
yeah, but I would just say like let's be cautious because the whole idea is that we're wanting to emphasize the Atlas cedar. Like the whole idea is that everything is around the
Hot-
Atlas cedar.
Hot
Yeah.
mocha.
Yeah, rather than the chocolate. Like if we make it like Mexican chocolate with a little bit of Atlas cedar, we've kind of defeated the whole purpose, you know?
I'm smelling it next to anise. It's a little harsh. It's a little
The
harsh.
anisyl acetate?
Maybe. Let's try that.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like the floral aspect along with like the spicy aspect of Atlas cedar. I think it's, that'll kind of like really work. Also, jasmine sambac.
Yeah, I can see
Jasmine
that.
sandbox smells good with everything.
Mhm.
Let's be honest. Ooh, my dog is going crazy upstairs. Oh, yum. Anisyl acetate. Yum. Next to the Atlas cedar.
God, you guys are really selling that anisyl acetate.
Oh, the first time I smelled it, I was like, this is what Hedione this is what I imagined Hedione smelled like. And then when I smelled Hedione, I'm anosmic to it. And so I smell nothing. I smell the container that it comes in. And so I always imagined it was this light, sweet, almondy kind of jasmine-y floral, and which is what this is.
Oh,
The
that's
anisyl
what-
acetate.
I think this is exactly what I'm looking for this Star Jasmine Accord that I've been trying to make for years. now.
Yes.
What about jasmine sambac?
Yeah, I'm about to smell that right now.
Okay. The thing about cistus is that I can't stand cistus. Cistus, also known as what's the name? Labdanum. Yes,
Labdanum.
I hate it. I just cannot stand it.
They are very similar. So I think if you don't like labdanum, you won't like cistus, but they are two different materials. And I'm using the absolute, not the essential oil.
That's
Okay.
cistus oil.
Probably wouldn't use cistus essential oil, but cistus absolute, I think it's a different tonality than labdanum somehow.
I love labdanum so much. I'm sorry, Jay.
All good, all good. To each their own. It's just that the one I got, I think, was from Perfumer's Apprentice, which was labdanum absolute, clear and natural, and just
So,
like no.
The jasmine sambac smells good. It's not fighting with it at all.
Okay.
It's not like a match made in heaven, but it's not fighting with it. That's my
All right. So far, right now, what we have is we have chocovan, clove, allspice, nutmeg, anisyl acetate, jasmine sambac. So far, I'm thinking like the clove and the floral. The spice and the floral aspect with the Atlas cedar is probably going to be like the kind of like way we're going to build this around. For top notes, I'm wondering if apple might be good because I can't think of any other top notes that you have that would
You
really
always go with apple. Always go with apple.
because
Ginger?
we don't. Ginger might be good, yeah, as a spice. You
Ginger
think
kind of
ginger?
goes with a lot. I think ginger.
I would just like not use the what's the name?
Let me see
Pink
what it smells
peppercorn
with
though. Pink
with the
peppercorn
ginger.
never in that because pink peppercorn has limonene.
Sharp.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, it's like the limonene specifically. Remember what I said about like limonene being in everything? Yeah, and the
Ooh,
problem is
ginger
that-
is nice.
I'm wondering like ginger could probably like go along with all those other spices.
So I think all of these things complement the Atlas really well, and
the spices.
as long as the Atlas is able to shine through, all of these pieces sing really well with it.
My idea with that is why don't we go ahead and just super dose the Atlas cedar just to
It would
kind of
have
like
to be, that's what I was thinking, like we're gonna
5,
have to
7%.
a lot so that it comes through and then plays with these other notes because
Yeah.
I think that is a way to go. Let me see if there's anything else I can think of that might go in there. Somebody said cumin.
Methyl diethylene. I'm actually kind of curious about that.
No, I don't have that. I don't think.
Methyl diantilus.
I don't have
can
that.
never say that.
Diantilus, I don't have it.
Okay. What about
Somebody said
tobacco absolute?
cistus. Do you think cistus would smell good with it? Did somebody say that?
I'm
Yeah,
doing,
cistus.
cistus
Truffanair.
and Elysian so far, but I'm figuring out like some things to sweeten it up a little bit.
I wonder if caraway would smell good with it. I'm just gonna check.
Cypriol.
Since,
Yum.
since we're looking at the spices, let's look at the caraway.
Oh, beeswax absolute.
Ooh, beeswax absolute, kind of give it a honey vibe. Now that might be interesting.
Yeah.
I wish I had me some beeswax.
I do. I
So-
have some.
So expensive.
Oh,
I can
and
try it.
What about tobacco
Actually,
absolute?
the caraway kind of fits, which is weird.
Hmm.
If you guys have that, smell it. The
Well, maybe
caraway
we can
kinda
add the
fit.
caraway
I mean,
last because caraway does have a little bit of an anise kind of smell to it. So it might just be a good idea to add it last, just in
Okay,
case.
what was the other one that you guys were just talking about?
Beeswax.
Beeswax. I have
beeswax.
that.
Because
Let
like
me
honey
smell
and
that.
Atlas cedar, I can see that working, especially with the florals and the spices. Oh, yeah. And I can kind of see like
I
the
just got it
apple
all over me. God damn it. Hang on. I can't smell it because I have Atlas cedar all over my fingers. 1 second.
the animalic aspect, the animalic aspect of Atlas cedar could be an interesting way to go, but you got to be careful with that because it's like you can easily go overboard. We don't want to emphasize the cat pee aspect of Atlas cedar. We want to make sure that we emphasize like the right aspects of Atlas cedar. Like I'm trying to emphasize like the what's the name? The balsamic, the warmth, the woodiness, that kind of aspect of it. We can do a little bit of the animalic side, but it would have to be like really done well to make sure that it's clean and elegant and fresh and formal and just all the things. Yeah. As long as we
Cat pee
get
as well.
that, yeah. Costas, okay. And not
I gotta run, you guys. But I would be interested to see what you guys come up with.
Well, yeah, we'll post the results later on after the meeting. And also, the whole thing is recorded, so yeah.
Okay, sweet.
It might be going up on YouTube. We'll see though. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, everyone. It was lovely to see you all, and I gotta split. Thank you for having me, and let me creep on you all. Bye.
Beeswax adds like a richness. It just adds like dimension and richness. Are you guys there?
Great suggestion, Mer, for that.
I have it all over me. I'm so
What about
sorry.
labdanum? We might as well just try it. Since everyone keeps recommending it.
Ah, hang on
I
one
do-
second.
I do fear that the labdaman would take over the Atlas cedar is a pretty soft note to me. So you really want things that emphasize what it already has. Otherwise, if you have something contrasting, it's just going to take over. And I think labdanum, maybe tiny smidges, but for me, the cistus and the elemi are really close in scent to the cedar. So to kind of emphasize it rather than covering it.
One thing that I was thinking, if you want to do something that's resinous, that's going to be emphasizing the aspects of Atlas cedar, we could do the frankincense. We could do the Olobanum Vulcane, a tiny little amount, trace amounts that'll emphasize the woodiness, the incense, etc. And I think it would just be a lovely addition. Tiny bit of amber accord, maybe. Also, vanillin could also be definitely something that's interesting to add there.
Vanilla might make it a little bit more pleasing.
Yeah, it will definitely add some softness, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
add ethyl vanillin. It would just be regular vanillin if I were gonna.
What's the
choose
difference
something.
between ethyl vanillin and regular vanillin?
Ethyl vanillin is going to be more of like powdered sugar or confectioner sugar. Regular vanillin is going to be creamier. It's just going to be more softer. It's just going to be richer, more dimension, more woody. I find that regular vanillin is just a better thing. Yeah. Ethyl vanillin is super sweet.
It also Oh, I get a little bit of smoke from ethyl vanillin, surprisingly.
Interesting. That might actually be nice.
Yeah. What I was thinking actually is if we're going to emphasize some of the resinous aspects over this, I'm thinking one of the things that we could add is Olaban and Volcane again, but in trace amounts this time with the toothpick method.
I have the weirdest thing with Olaban and Volcan. Like when I add it to a blend, it just flattens everything, even in minute amounts. And I don't know, I have no idea if it's just my nose or what it is. So I love it on its own, but I basically never add it to anything.
What kind of alcohol do you have?
That one's in DPG. So I don't know if it's a DPG.
Oh, it could be the DPG.
I wonder.
Yeah, use pure materials and use 200 proof alcohol. Try it sometime. I guarantee you that you will be amazed by it. Also, you're in the US, right?
Me? I'm in Europe.
Oh, Europe. Okay.
I'm American, but
Okay. All right. It might be a little bit difficult. Which country are you in? Are you in Germany or
Italy?
Italy? Okay. I'm not sure if you can get 200 proof alcohol in Italy easily. I'm probably just gonna.
I use what is it, 96% food grade.
Okay, that's probably good enough. But if you can find 200 proof, definitely get it, which would be like 100% food grade if you can find it.
Ethyl vanilin's better than the vanillin.
Oh, that's interesting.
Too strong.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Mur is recommending the aldehyde C12 M&A to back it up.
Aldehyde C12. I don't think I have it.
It's one that you should definitely get. I totally recommend it.
All right, I'll put it on my list. Aldehyde C12. What does it smell like?
It's unique. It's just very I don't know how to describe it. It's just yeah, it's very tenacious. It's a little bit leathery, kind of vaguely, a little bit chemically. If you smell it pure, it's just difficult to describe.
Okay, that sounds interesting. All right, so I'm
Bubbly.
myself a little shopping list.
This is bubbly.
Sorry, I'm laughing at the cage shelf references.
At the which channel?
In the chat, the cage shelf references.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, benzoin is an interesting sweetener. Sorry, I'm still on the resin path, but someone mentioned, yeah, amber cord, benzoin to sweeten it up.
Benzoin, I've tried smelling benzoin before. All the materials that I've ever gotten from benzoin are just like, nah.
He hates benzoin.
I'm pulling out all your most hated materials.
Yes, do it.
The anti-J accord. One day, someday it's gonna make it.
So I think we have some nice materials here that we're gonna work on. I'm gonna call it a day soon because I need to get some food in me.
Yeah, same here. What we should probably do is just save this for next time, and then we can continue from there. But yeah, I think that honestly, like we've got a great start. We just need to like really just add some more stuff to it. And when do you want to do this next? Maybe in like a week, 2 weeks? Oh wait, no, next week I'm
Well, what we could do is maybe like in 2 weeks, but if you guys want to work on your versions of the Atlas fragrance, and then we can kind of compare notes next time, and then work on something new after that. Like I feel like you guys are experts, and you can just take it from here and do your own thing with it, and then we'll work on something new the next time.
Yeah, we could share whatever we come up with Atlas Cedar, just share in the Discord.
Yeah, we'll share it and see, what everybody came up with. I'm sure we're gonna all have different versions of it, so that'd be really fun. Yes, I think we should do these more often because I feel like it's just going to boost everybody's skill level. Me for sure, me.
all right.
Yeah,
And Shannon, regarding the material over there, try smelling it again. I'm just wondering if it's like evolved at all. The perfume that's on the.
Oh yeah, actually, I wanted to smell it too. Now that I haven't smelled that in a while. going back to it fresh.
I think you probably actually could add more ginger and pink pepper.
Okay. Well, why don't for right now, maybe it's just a good idea to bottle it up, just to let your nose reset a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
good. I'm running out of bottles. Let me see if I can find something. Hold on.
Story of my life.
Okay, I got a bottle. We're bottling it.
Sweet.
I have these old treatment pump bottles that I don't use anymore. This will do. This will do.
But the treatment pump bottles, can you spray perfume out of them?
No, but what I do is I just store it in here, and then if I want to spray, I'll put it in like a little tiny sample spray bottle to spray it out. I'll just transfer it.
Got it. Oh, by the way, did you get the sample spray bottles and the sample spray cards as well? By any chance, ordered yet?
Like new ones?
Yeah, the new sample bottles, the new cards.
I'm getting this all over the place. I swear to God.
Oh, it's all good.
It's not good. Hold on 1 second. Maybe if I just pour it from a further distance. There we go. That's better. I was resting the beaker on here and it was just over. It was going over the edge. Okay. The cards. Yes. Hold on. These.
Late.
These babies.
Yeah.
Yes. This is what they look like. I didn't print stickers. It's too expensive right now to do that. So I just did little handwritten. You would be surprised. People love handwritten stuff.
It's good. It's good. Might be a good idea also to like get like a square little sticker next time, just so that way you have more writable room.
You know what?
If you got like a slightly bigger like rectangle sticker, you might have a little more room to write. Yeah.
Yeah, the little round ones. I have a ton of the round ones, so I was just trying to use them up. But yeah, square one might look nice. Okay, I need to clean off my desk because it is le mess.
All right. Oh, that's a little spray bottle, just a regular little perfume spray bottle top.
You want me to spray it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna spray Jay's Tingly Accord, which is all over my desk. You guys. My life. I'm in here spilling stuff all over the place, talking to myself. All right, I look like a nutty professor. All right, let's see, little spray bottle. Okay. Okay. Ooh. My hands are covered in Atlas cedar. That's all I can smell. Okay. I'm gonna spray this and see what it smells like. The Tingly Accord. Here we go. It's so light. It's so much lighter than I expected. It's lovely. I think you were right about the poivron. It actually does add like a black pepper kind of a note to it.
Just a slight little tingle.
There's a lot of cashmere in this. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah, I like cashmere, but I think that it kind of works to kind of give that warmth, because otherwise it's going to be too cooling, you know? Because like
for me, I would totally have the cashmere, but that's my personal preference.
I just don't want it in every single fragrance that we make at that percentage. That's my only thing, is that I want them to smell different. I don't want it to be the signature. That's just me personally, but.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that it's going to be interesting for us to do that Atlas Theater challenge. And yeah, so Shannon, what I'm wondering is, do you think that that's good enough to actually be something that could be sold, or do you think that it still could need some work?
I mean, as a finished fragrance, just the way it is right now.
Mm-hmm. Or do you think it needs some micro tweaking, like you usually do with the fragrances we make?
I feel like it needs a little bit more. It smells a bit one-dimensional. Not one-dimensional, but it just feels like it's just one thing.
Like it's just tingly and nothing else.
It's just tingly and nothing else, and it needs something to maybe to make it like a finished perfume. I would need something to balance that tingle out, just to give it like a little something extra.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it needs something in there as well. But by itself, it's very beautiful. It's very light. It's sparkly. I like it. I like it.
I think we could definitely use that, like some of the ideas from that fragrance, as possibly something that we could do for like one of our future fragrances in the future, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Now I'm excited about this Atlas Cedar thing. I'm like already thinking about that.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be really interesting, because it's like we're probably just going to add like a ton of cashmere into it. We're probably just going to add a ton of spices. We're going to add that ethyl vanillin, maybe add a tiny little bit of Olaban and Volcane. And yeah, depending on when you get to your next materials. Oh, if you have your next materials by the time we make our next meeting.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday. We're coming on Wednesday. Oh shoot, but I have to order more. So all right, so let's just do this in like 2 weeks, I would say. Is that enough time for everybody?
Can we do that in 3 weeks, actually? Because I work in 2 weeks, and next week I'm busy. So let's do on the 10th, same time.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll put it in my calendar. 10th, blend along. Okay.
I'll do that as well.
Really, okay, musky, woody, patchouli vibes for cashmere.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. The musky, woody, patchouli vibes. If you want that, go for patchouli crystals. That actually, in my opinion, has almost a musky vibe to it. The patchouli. Does anyone else get that sort of almost musky aspect from patchouli?
Don't have it.
Don't have it.
Oh, you don't have it?
You guys have sold me on it though, from your comments.
That and the anisole, you got to get that too.
I would probably reach out to Harry from the Discord forum. He is the GOAT. Let's just put it that way. Like he stands on a tier of his own. Oh, Mir, what was that bottle that you were showing? Patchouli crystals. Yes, that's the stuff.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Okay, so here's our tingle accord.
Okay, well, I think that one thing that we could do to make it like a little bit more interesting in the future, just like some ideas, possibly some aquatics.
Yeah, actually, this would be something that an aquatic would be like a natural, because it's a summery kind of a fragrance. So yeah, aquatic would be nice with this.
And then I'm also thinking maybe we could also add like the jasmine to it.
Yeah, the jasmine and the cardamom might be nice. That might be enough to make it, smell more like a full finished formula. But this would be nice just to keep on my desk, so that when I'm making a perfume, I can just smell this next to it and see if I want something tingly in there, and I could just kind of keep this handy, to see. Yeah, it should be good.
Okay. Yeah, it can be a great reference material, because it's like that idea is just like we're just trying to make it like really pop. But once you get the ambroxan, it might be a good idea to just add some back in there, into the bottle itself. Like you could probably just add like 100 milligrams.
Yeah, I can do that. I can add some ambroxan crystals. It's coming on Wednesday, my next haul. I didn't get anything new on this haul. I just got stuff that I already have that I just needed to replenish, but I'll place another order soon, probably, and get some of this other stuff. Aldehyde C12 will be in there.
Mhm.
And Grisalva. I don't know.
Oh, make sure that you get the aldehyde C12 MNA. It has to be specifically the MNA version because there are many C12s.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. This is recorded. We may post it to YouTube. We may not. We're just going to kind of think about that.
You get from Pissich.
Huh? What was that?
Bill?
Bill?
Oops, did I just say something?
Yes.
Oh, my mic was on.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't mean to say anything.
It's fine. Okay, all right, cool. Because yeah, I was just saying that we may post it to YouTube later. I'll talk to you, Jay. We'll chat after this. I'll just call you and kind of do a little recap. But maybe we'll put together some recap notes and we'll post that in the Discord server, and then we'll post the date for the next blend along and kind of like what's going on with that Atlas Cedar Challenge. And then if we do decide to post it to YouTube, we'll post a link later. Sound good?
Hey, thanks so much for inviting us along.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you guys showed up. You totally made my day. And it was really nice to meet all you guys and put a face to the name. Yes.
Was much appreciated.
It was good to meet you too, Bill. All right, guys, take care.
Meeting you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.